So we're going to go through all of the tier set bonuses and we're going to review them. And because I don't want to do this 10 times, I'm going to put this up on YouTube probably. So it is what it is. But I have not read all of the set bonuses. We've now tested all of the classes good bit. Some classes are very buggy and you can't tell how the class will do until they get world buffs. So let's go through all of them. And if I read something incorrectly, just correct me on stream, guys. I have dyslexia and I very easily, as you saw a second ago, will read things slightly wrong. First of all, as Bishox pointed out, we do not have the correct stats on these items, but they do have the correct set bonuses. That's the only thing that matters right now, set bonuses. So 2 set bonus, Thorns increased your duration by 200% and the damage of Thorns by 100%. Completely pointless set bonus for Boomkin for there. The 4 set is 3% hit. That's actually pretty nice, unless Boomkin already gets enough hit. And the 6 set reduces the cooldown of Starfall by 50%. That's really good for overall damage, really insignificant for single target. Super, I mean, if I had to like rate these, like I'm just gonna do Google Doc. We're gonna Google Doc it. All right, Balanced Druid, C, right? Let's go Balanced Druid. We're going to give it an overall ranking of a C. All right, Feral Druid, 2 set. Feral Fairy Fire also increases the chance for all attacks to hit that target by 1%. Free 1% hit, kind of nice. I wish we got the real Fairy Fire, Wrath Fairy Fire, but that's asking for way too much. Feral Druids are very happy right now. Periodic damage from your Rake and Rip can now crit. That's insane. That is amazing. That is great. It makes it worth it to use Rake and Rip, and your Rip and Ferocious Bite have a 20% chance per combo point to refresh the duration of Savage Roar, which means you no longer have to maintain Savage Roar because you will use Ferocious Bite instead of clipping your Rip. You'll just use Ferocious Bite. This gives Feral Druid a natural rotation. They will be a lot stronger than you just saw what we did with the testing. And Feral Druid from testing without world buffs, it's Feral Druid and Mage and Warlock at the top. These are amazing. This is absolute S tier Feral Druid, absolute S tier set bonuses. You're not gonna clip your Rip. No. You'll just Ferocious Bite in between because you don't need to fill with Savage Roar. Like you'll end up being able to keep it up, but you won't Savage Roar, you won't Ferocious Bite outside of keeping up Savage Roar / not clipping Rip. I don't know if that made a lot of sense. Feral Druid Tank. Okay, Feral Druid Tank. You may cast Rebirth in an Innervate while in bear form and dire bear form. Kind of nice. Insignificant if you play well, but it is nice. And if you're tanking, you don't get to battle res usually. So sure. Reduces the cooldown of Enrage by 30 seconds and it no longer reduces your armor. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It doesn't really change much of my life, but okay. For PvP, both of those are amazing. For PvP, yeah. For PvP, yes. Bear form, dire bear form, increase all threat you generate by additional 20%. And Cower now removes all your threat against the target, but has a 20-second CD. That is very good. You don't get a lot of survivability from these set bonuses. You don't get a new CD, realistically, kind of, from these set bonuses. 20% threat gen, super high tank stunts. 20% is amazing. I'm putting this in the Feral Tank A. We're getting this A tier overall. It has uses in PvP, but will you run that in PvP? I think it's, yeah, that's not bad. It's like a taunt that can never miss. Cower drops all of your threat. Yeah, that's true. It is like a taunt that can never miss. You can always make sure that threat goes to the off tanks. That is nice. Don't ignore the stats, only look at the set bonuses. Okay, and we're gonna look at Resto Druid, but it's behind my face, so I'm gonna hide my face here for this. Resto Druid, 2 set. When you cast Innervate on another player, you also get it on yourself. That's fucking amazing. Excuse my language, but holy cow. That 2 set is crazy. Casting Healing Touch or Nourish gives you a 25% chance to gain mana equal to 35% of the base spell cost. Also amazing. Wow. Reduces the cooldown of Tranquility by 100% and increases its healing by 100%. Okay, all right. No cooldown for fucking Tranquility. Someone's playing Druid. Trank is not very powerful, but doubling its healing, I don't know why the proc chance means, but doubling its healing, you'll still go for sure. But the other 2, I think the 2 set and the 4 set are just so insane. that I'm rating this in the S tier. You know what I'm saying? And you can finally go Tree Druid. I think this will be really, 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 really solid. Okay, Hunters. Melee Hunter is kind of a dead class, guys. Nobody's going to be able to play it anymore because Reddit 1, Melee Hunter's dead, 0 DPS. But let's see how those set bonuses. Mongoose Bite reduces the target's chance to dodge by 1% and increases your chance to hit by 1%. So basically it gives you 2% chance to hit. The issue is Mongoose Bite can only happen most of the time off of dodges, as well as the tank or the boss parrying or blocking. So, that's because of the last bonus. Okay, it's like making you do less of your own abilities, but stand in front of the boss, have fun, yeah. While tracking a creature of that type, you do 3% extra damage to that. That's kind of juicy. Just a static 3% damage. That's juicy, but it's smaller than some of the other ones, right? Like, I think being able to crit with 2 of your abilities is more than 3% damage. But you know what? 3% damage is not a bad one to get. And Mongoose Bite also activates for 5 seconds when your target parries or blocks. That means you'll be able to Mongoose Bite bosses as long as you get your 6 set. Melee Hunter's in a kind of mediocre place. Yeah, maybe it's B. Well, let's give it B. You're right. We'll give it Melee Hunter B. All right, Ranged Hunter. Using Distracting Shot, you gain 100% more threat for 8 seconds. I'm anticipating they're gonna think that Melee Hunters or Ranged Hunters are gonna need to kite bosses for some situation. So like it's useless outside of that single situation that we don't ever have to do yet, but might have to. Okay. While tracking a creature, you get 3% damage. Okay. Your next shot ability within 10 seconds after aim shot deals 20% more damage. I'm seeing a world where you change your rotation in a unique way, where you double aim shot as well as double chimera shot so that your chimeras do 20% more damage. Because you can trap more often than you could beforehand. Marksman Hunter is about to have currently by far the most complex rotation. I don't think anyone is going to come close to it. Maybe Warrior now. There's a world where this is really good. Most people, it's not really going to do too much. I'm giving this B plus, because the first one is completely useless, right? Distracting Shot's useless. 3% damage, same thing here. Smaller than most other things. You can aim every trap to buff Chimera, but then you're not getting 2 Chimeras. So is 20% more damage on 1 Chimera better 2 aim shots, or is it better to just have 1 Chimera with 20% extra damage and use a second Chimera? Feels like you're gonna just use 2 Chimeras. For anyone that doesn't understand that, by the way, it's just because damage wise, like let's say Chimera does 100 damage and aim shot does 100 damage and Chimera does 120 damage. Like you literally would just be getting what, 24 extra damage on that 1 Chimera and being able to use another 20 extra damage from using a second Chimera instead. So that's 44 extra damage instead of getting 20 extra damage by using double aimed and then Chimeras, right? Okay, whatever. I might have said that slightly wrong, but someone check the math. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Mage tier set. Evocation makes you immune to all damage. DPS mages have a full immunity and a way of getting all of their mana back. This is insane for PvP, random for PvE, but what the hell? That is unreal, okay? 1% you gain 1% increased damage for 15 seconds each time you cast a spell from a different school of magic. Does that stack? How high does this stack? What counts as a school from a different magic? Because Frostfire Bolt, Fire Blasting keeps going. That's insane, potentially, or could be nothing, so we don't know. And Mage Armor now increases your mana regeneration while cast by 15%. Molten Armor increases your spell damage and healing by 18. Ice Armor grants 20% increased chance to trigger Fingers of Frost. Bish, you can give me what you think. I think it's great for Frost. Great for PvP, 18 spell power for non-frost. But what do you even play? Yes, 20% crit for frost. So you just play frost. Let's give it A, S, A or S. I'll let the mages decide as a non-mage main, obviously. Your temporal beacon lasts 20% longer, increases all chromatic healing you deal by 10%. And each time you heal a target with regeneration, the remaining cooldown on rewind is reduced by 1 second. I feel like the healing set seems really good. You do need one Frost Mage. I feel like the healing set seems really good. I'm gonna give both of those A, but it's like, what if you're not DPS? What if you're one of the specs that doesn't benefit as much? It's dependent. Mage heals feels A. Mage healers are looking really good, but I think the top mages are still Frost Firebolt, so maybe we'll give it A-. All right, A- for mage DPS. That's what you're getting, okay? And you'll love it. You'll enjoy that. What do we have? Holy Paladin. Interesting that it goes in a different order now. Holy Paladin increases your chance for allies to trigger your Judgment of Light and Judgment of Wisdom by 100%. Every single hit will proc Judgment of Light and Judgment of Wisdom. That gets nerfed. Oh, double the current value, not 100%. All right. No, it says to 100%, not by 100%. It says to 100%. Oh, boys. Okay, all right. Increases your critical strike chance of spells and attacks by 2% for the 4 set. That's nice because Holy Paladins obviously love to crit. Whenever your Flash of Light, Holy Light, or Beacon of Light heal a target to full health, you also heal all members of the party for almost 200. Some splash healing. It's a small amount, but I feel like adds up a lot. Like, Holy Paladins are really missing out on, like, if you get trickle damage on people. And does this scale with healing power? If this scales, even the first one, literally the first one, I think puts this in S tier. Just because of the use, like your AoE healing is crazy. If it scales with spell power and healing power, it is absolute S. Absolute S. If it doesn't, it's okay. So like if both of the, yeah, exactly. It's 400 healing on everyone. If one of your heals hits the party and gets both people to max, right? Seems very strong, but it's party wide and no one wants a fucking Holy Paladin in their group for anymore, because they got rid of Horn of Winter. You used to actually enjoy a Holy Paladin in your group because you had Horn of Winter. They literally deleted that ability, actually deleted the ability. 400 party heal. Okay, 1.5 second cast, 400 party heal, 400 on 5 people because you're in the party as well. 2000 healing, 1.5 second cast, 2000 extra healing on top of the healing of the ability that just went out that you used. Like the normal 2000 just passive healing went out, not from you doing anything new, but you were already healing that person, right? And what if the person's max HP and you just spam rank 1? Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's, excuse me for blowing into there, but I just got excited. Okay, Ret Paladin. Your Judgment of Light and Judgment of Wisdom also grants the effects of Judgment of the Crusader. Ooh, increases the critical strike chance by 2%, and your Seal of Command, Righteousness, and Martyrdom now persists for 6 seconds after you cast another seal, or until you cast a third seal. Does that remove seal twisting, but enable seal twisting? Your judgments can now trigger multiple seals if active. So it's built-in seal twisting. Built-in seal twisting. It makes it easier, just not 3 seals. More of a seal stacking. Low key, that's kind of tight. Like, because now your hits will hit with both of those seals. Yeah, extended seal twisting, double the judgments. It's cleaner, and you get to fill those open globals, like those globals, with other things. I think it's pretty cool. I would say A. I'm curious if you guys would disagree, and I'm okay with that disagreement because I'm not, you know. They seem really good. I think it's a very solid A. Prot Paladin increases your block value by 30. Heal for 189 to 221 when you block. Oh, can only happen once every few seconds. Okay, I was like, no way. 3.5 second cooldown for a 200 heal is okay. Interesting choice. Holy Shield no longer has charges. Instead, always lasts the full duration. Its damage is increased by 200% of your block value. Has anyone seen what happened yet? You're gonna AoE farm like crazy. That's crazy. Has anyone seen what happened to me yesterday? Did anyone see? Okay, this is a bad way of putting it. This is just Holy Shield. All right, I'm gonna hit him from the front. Look at my HP. Health pot to full. That's just because I attacked someone that has Holy Shield up. In PvP, it's stupid. How much will it do in raids? It'll do. People won't hit nearly as fast as a rogue does. I think this is. I want to put it in here. Here we have Ret Pally, A, Holo, Prot Pally. I kind of want to put it in A. I kind of would give it a little A tier for the set bonus. I should have just made a tier list maker. I don't know why I'm doing this without a tier list maker. Here, now we can go back and show you guys in a better way. Balanced Druid, CSA. Oh, because that's why. Because I can't do Feral Druid and Feral Tank. That's why. Notepad tier list for the win. We're doing it, okay? Will tanks actually use tank spec? Who knows? Priests. Our priest back, okay? Minus 0.1 second cast time of flash heal and greater heal. Slightly faster. Can I link this website? This right here. We'll get into Rogue Tank in a second. Increase your critical strike chance of spells by 2%. Increase your critical chance with Prayer of Healing and Circle of Healing by 25%. The 6 set is really nice. The 2 set is nice because it also affects like Binding Heal now, I believe. The 2% crit I'm indifferent about. It is boring. It is boring. B+, a priest healer would slightly reducing the cast time of something really adds up though. I feel like it's A. Like it really adds up. You proc insta flash with it. Oh, wait, if you crit Prayer and Circle, you get an insta flash. We can give it into the A. We can give it into the A then. Heal Priest. Really solid. Really solid. Not that interesting. I mean, for me, but really solid. Also, just be aware, I am actively not I don't know the best way of saying it. I'm not like the person to go to about healing, right? Like I'm not like a pro at healing. Like someone watches this and is like, he doesn't even understand healers, right? Like I don't. I'm asking you guys. I understand how things work in practice, but I'm a DPS enjoyer. I'm not, healing sucks for me and personally. I'm just, it's not my thing. That's all. If you're watching this and you're thinking I'm a pro healer, I'm apologizing to you right now. You got baited. Okay. 2 set for Shadow Priest. You can cast Flash Heal while in Shadow form. For PvP, that's amazing. But for PvE, that's absolutely nothing. 2% crit with spells. Well, your dots also crit now, so that's actually a good amount of crit that adds up. Mind Blast critical strikes reduce the duration of next Mind Flay by 50% while increasing its damage by 100%. We got any Shadow Priests in the house? I feel like that changes your rotation. That makes it fucking insane. I know they wanted to add Mind Flay into the rotation. That kind of feels S. Am I baiting? We were seeing some really solid Shadow Priest damage on test work, right? If we go to, let's see some logs. This is like one of the, okay, so these are like some of the logs, right? Shadow Priest damage on test work. We actually saw sometimes Shadow Priest at like 1500 DPS on test work. That's a big buff on their damage. Shadow Priests are gonna be solid. But does that affect their AoE damage? Obviously, I'm not seeing anything that makes it would, but am I sharing those logs? Yeah, here's some test work logs as well as we did. I think Shadow Priest set bonus is super good. We're gonna put that in the S tier. Shadow Priest, maybe in the S plus tier. Is it our first S plus? You guys can decide. You want to be able to refresh instant cast dots, Shadow Death after cast. We can no longer do that. It also adds yet another thing to our rotation. So maybe not S plus is what you're saying. Dude, add more things to the rotations. I'm about it, man. But we'll leave it at S. You guys vote for S plus and we'll decide. Rogues! DPS Rogue. Feint also now gives you avoidance for 6 seconds, reducing all AoE attacks that you take. This is something that Feint does already in Wrath of the Lich King. It just means you could survive some abilities. Potentially you'd be able to get more DPS on some abilities, okay? I think you would be able to get more DPS on some abilities on rare fights, very niche. Mostly insignificant, and mostly that's like D or C tier, but it's a 2 set bonus, whatever. Increase the critical strike damage of your bonus of your poisons by 100% for your 4 set. And your finishing moves have a 5% chance per combo point to make your next ability cost no energy. What? No. This wouldn't matter for Phantom Knives. It's mostly going to be a free mutilate. It would matter for Phantom Knives, but not really. You're not really using finishing moves during Phantom Knives spam. If you're doing a small enough AoE, you're using the other rune. I'm forgetting the name instead of Phantom Knives. You actually do more damage than Phantom Knives spam with the finishing move rune, which already gives you full energy anyways. The poison thing is what I'm really excited. Not Blunderbuss. The other one is actually better. The other one adds up more. Because then you can also go Carnage and everything has bleed on it. It depends on what you spend it on, what the calculation of energy per average would be, right? You would want to spend your free ability on the highest cost energy ability, which is Phantom Knives technically on an AoE, obviously, but mostly you don't really have another choice other than Mutilate. So I'm gonna give this A tier mostly for the 4 set. I don't think the set bonuses from this are amazing. The set bonuses from Dark Mantle proc probably are technically better, but actually overall throughout a raid, this is going to add up huge. I mean, you use fucking, this is A tier. This might be S tier actually. If in an actual realistic single target situation, this actually adds up huge in single target. I was for some reason only thinking about AoE and I apologize. We're giving it an A. I think it's going to add up pretty huge. But for a long time, you're going to use your dungeon set. The question is this better than your new dungeon set? Which is crazy to think about, right? Because of how stacked up the dungeon set is. You might honestly use 4 and 4, yeah. Tier 0.5 is just so good. If anyone doesn't remember, Dark Mantle set is like just one of the most beautiful, amazing, most powerful sets of all time. Just the proc is just so juiced. Okay, so we have Rogue Tanks. 2 set. While Just a Flesh Wound and Blade Dance are active, Phantom Knives cost 50% less energy and generates 100% increased threat. S tier. Rogue Tanks can now AoE tank. S tier instantly. Vanish now reduces all magic damage you take by 50% during its duration, but no longer grants stealth and breaks movement impairing effects. You have an anti-magic shell. Almost no one can get rid of magic damage. Magic damage one-shots are non-existent to you. Huge pulls where you're mitigating everything because rogues have the most mitigation purely by avoidance. Rogue tanks have just this ungodly level of avoidance, especially with world buffs, now can actually deal with magic damage. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then the 6 set bonus, your finishing moves have a 20% chance per combo point to make you take 50% less physical damage on the next melee hit for 10 seconds. Which means it's a 100% chance on a 5-point combo. And if there's a tank buster mechanic, you can mitigate 50% of any tank buster mechanic. That's skill gap difference. That's so well done. That you can control everything. In all honesty, that's my first S+. That's crazy. It's just the next hit, but you time it for like big hits, or if a boss hits slowly, right? Like it's every other hit. Rogue is definitely going to be a skill-based tank, which is the best. Like the best rogue tanks are going to be so good because they are using their abilities to mitigate things in a situation where you pretty much don't even need a healer. 20% chance per combo point, 5 combo points. I don't know if it goes multiplicative or like additive, right? So fair, pulled pork. I think it's 100% chance, but it might be just worded interesting and we have to see. It's always been additive though. We've never seen anything multiplicative on a set bonus stacking like this, right? Yeah. Rogue Tank is just, that is the most insane thing. My question is Ele Shaman tier cracked out? Cause we all saw Ele Shaman, right? We all saw Ele Shaman, right? We've all seen Ele Shamans doing 0 crits, hitting for like 7,000 damage in a second, right? We've all seen Ele Shamans by themselves doing 10,000 damage in certain hits. They're just, that was a good one. So let's see if Ele Shaman tier does anything. We're looking at Ele Shaman first. The radius of your totems is increased by 40 yards. Is this for everyone? It's not good for you, it's good for everyone else. I guess it's huge quality of life. It doesn't do anything for, yeah, but also if I had an Ele Shaman in my group and I was out of range of his totems, I would be yelling at him. So sure, all right, fine. Your lightning bolt critical strikes have a 35% chance to reset the cooldown on Lava Burst, Chain Lightning, and make the next Lava Burst, Chain Heal, and Chain Lightning instant. That's weird because you already don't have a cooldown on Chain Lightning now, but it does make it an instant cast. Instant cast Lava Burst for single target is crazy, right? You're literally just gonna permanently instant cast. That's fucking crazy. Wait, the 6-set Lava Burst now also refreshes the duration of Flame Shock on your target, so you never have to cast another Flame Shock, and you're permanently insta casting Lava Burst. This gets tuned down. Your mana's gone, but S++. Your mana's gone. You literally do too much damage. You need mana. You're just doing too much. You're just needing mana. That's true. You could play Feral Spirits for single target, which is hilarious. Celotin is coping so hard. He's like, dude, Celotin just loves that someone at Blizzard is like absolutely in love with Shaman ever since halfway through Nomer. The question is, will we see fire immune mobs? Correct. I don't think we get fire immune mobs. I think we get fire resistant mobs. And I think people complain enough that they reduce the fire resistance to like 10% or something. Like, yeah. Just let Reddit do Reddit stuff. You know? Okay. Increase the damage and healing. Okay, so melee shaman. Radius of your totems, 40 yards. Also, huge quality of life thing. You guys pointed out to me that I was being obnoxious. If you don't drop Wind Fury totem, I am literally kicking you in the jejunum. 4-set bonus. Increase your critical strike chance by 2%. Sure. 6-set. Your flurry talent grants another 10% attack speed. Wow. How much of your damage is melee though? Currently, how much of your damage is melee? Because that if that was like a rogue or a warrior, that's ungodly, right? But like if that's a shaman, and we look at enhancement shaman DPS, because so much of your damage is not literally coming from melees. I mean, I guess so. I guess, okay, so 30% of your damage is coming from melee, including, I guess we could add on Wind Fury weapon, so that actually adds up even more to about 50%, 40. So that's pretty solid then. And you get more maelstroms. That seems very solid then. Black, I love that you corrected me to say that's 49%. When it's over 49.5%. So why wouldn't you just add it up? Didn't I say 50%? Okay, I did say 50%. So I'm not crazy. You're just great correction, but you're wrong. I'm right. Okay. That seems really good. Is it on the double S tier? No. Is it S tier? I feel like it's A+, but you guys can kind of, we can field the room. I think it's A. That alone, I feel like is really good. The other ones are quality of life, as well as 2% crit is like not stupid. Let's give it A. Okay, let's give it A. The thing is, shamans just like shamans are just insane. Okay, totem radius increased, perfect. 4-set. After casting Healing Wave, Lesser Healing Wave, or Riptide, you have a 25% chance to gain the mana back, just like the Resto Druid one. So you gain a lot of mana back. That's actually really nice overall. Your Healing Wave now jumps to an additional nearby target. Each jump reduces the effectiveness of the heal by 80%. By 80%. You can Healing Wave the tank. Feels mid. It's like a chain heal from your Healing Wave. Okay, actually, what would be interesting to know is the number of, so one Healing Wave versus one chain heal on the first heal. What is the difference in healing? Literally, like physical difference in healing. But also, I feel like so many things scale with chain heal right now that you're proccing chain heals like crazy. It heals the melees. You can be like the main tank healer now, which is something that paladins kind of have the job of on Alliance. So that it gives a lot of versatility. Healing Wave is like 2.5 direct heal. Oh, see, so if it's 2.5, like it literally is just makes it a better chain heal, right? Not game breaking, but I think it's very strong. We're gonna give a holy heal Sham. Let's give him the A. Let's give him the A. Okay. Again, guys, I'm not a pro healer. I don't never healed on a shaman, and I never will. Don't ask me to. Get out of here. Tank Shaman. Increases your attack speed by 30% for your next 3 swings after you parry, dodge, or block. Okay. Your parries and dodges also activate your Shield Mastery rune. And your Stone Skin Totem also reduces physical damage taken by 5%. And Wind Wall reduces magic damage taken by 5%. Bro, who is out here just so in love with Shaman, dude? What the balls, dude? Who is out here just like thinking, man, I think Shaman just wasn't good enough. Let's make all of their tier sets as amazing as we can. You know what? It really was, they just hated on Hunter, right? Because the one you're using doesn't have Warlock Tank. Okay, here, let me permit. Oh, all right, perfect. Okay, so Warlock Tank. This is Warlock Tank. Okay, Warlock Tank. Why do they hate boomies? I don't know, man. We haven't gone to Warrior, guys. Don't look at Warrior below us. Don't look at Warrior. Actually, we'll go back that way then, because we need to get to Warrior. Okay. All right, DPS Warlocks. Life tap generates 50% more mana, 100% less threat. Sick, more mana. All right, hell yeah. Crit chance by 2%. Sick. Like, life tap giving more mana is like a really big thing overall. Your Nightfall talent has a 4% increased chance to trigger. Your Immolate periodic damage has a 4% chance to grant Fire Trance, reducing the cast time of your nest, Incinerate, and Immolate by 100%. It sounds amazing, but 4% is not a lot. Like, if you guys can recall, Feral Druid, if I can log on to one, Feral Druid used to get one free cast from Gore, which was at 5%. Ignore this text there. Gore used to be 5%, and you used to basically get one free cast of Shred every 52 seconds. Oh, 4% per dot tick of all of your dots. Oh, okay. So that's just gonna proc. I'm not running the math on it right now. So I'm gonna, before someone comes in and says, that's 49%, fucking get out of here. I'm not running the math on it. You guys decide. The life tap thing alone, personally, I think is fucking insane. I think it's really good. The life tap thing alone, though, is like crazy, right? I think it's, for lock, it's solid, either A or low S. Let's give it A, so someone watching this can debate and get mad. All right, Warlock Tank, we're going to you after we go to Warrior. I don't think the percentage is high enough to be S, but I don't know. I think it's 14%, not 4%. Oh, you think it's supposed to be 14% and not 4%? Okay, you're... Oh, 4% increase. Okay, all right. Are Feral Druids S tier? Yes, 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 yes. Anyone asking the question, I can tell you right now, the classes that are S tier, before we even talk about the tier bonuses, actually, I lied. It's probably only Shaman. Someone nerf Shaman. Again, guys, we might see some, we're definitely going to see some reworks. Why do you think Feral Druid is S tier? We'll get into that. We'll get into that later. Yeah, Hunter set is quite literally the lowest of everything overall that we've seen. Boomy set did not feel great. Cool on overall, not great everywhere. Hunter set, okay. Might, Warrior DPS. You gain 10 rage when you change stances. That's huge, because I'm pretty sure you have to stance now. Maybe it's just Fury that has to stance. Where's Ataz? That seems pretty nice. That's a pretty nice one to not fuck you over with stancing. And it also allows for like less messing up things. No, we're gonna go back to Warlock Tank. It's not on this right here, and when we pull it up on this page, you can see the Warrior one. So 4 set, for 5 seconds after leaving a stance, you can use an ability requiring that stance as if you were still in it. In the 6 set, for the first 10 seconds after activating a stance, you gain an additional benefit. 10% increased damage, 10% increased crit. It's so funny that they took away so many of your like 25% increased damage, 10% increased damage. And now it's like, just change stances to get that 10% damage, but you need your 6 set. Have fun stancing a fuck ton. Warrior was already, other than Range Hunter, the most skill reliant class, and that's why every Warrior in most pugs does dog doo-doo damage. And I say this way too often, and Warriors get butthurt, but like, Warriors are the best class in the game by far, as long as you're really good. I mean, obviously we know Shamans too, and then maybe like Ranged Hunters are really good for overall right now. I don't know if this will feel good or this will feel atrocious. I'm personally not a fan of having to change stances all of the time. I think it could be really cool, Does nothing for Glad Stance. You get 10% more damage, but you won't be stance dancing. But now you kind of have to stance dance because you'll get rage and use more ability. I don't fucking know, dude. Whatever, man. I don't want to play stance dancing. I don't want to play fucking Glad Stance anyways, right? On paper, the idea is there. Yeah, okay, so the idea is there. The execution, I personally wouldn't be like a huge trustee in going into like the Warrior Discord and Fight Club and being like, this Warrior dog shit tier, and have everyone just come at you and be like, this is the dumbest shit of all time. We need like an actually good Warrior. I feel like we're gonna be getting more changes to Warrior before the phase goes lives. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, but the difference between 99 parsing on a Warrior and like almost 100 parsing is like fucking, you guys can't even see my arms right now, right? It's like it's so infinitely different. I mean, asking Al will instantly tell you everything is dog shit, and then he'll like tell you a realistic answer. But he would, I don't know. It looks, theoretically looks okay, but it feels to me not that great. I'll let Al figure it out. I don't know what Ataz really like ranks this. We'll give it to him. What does thick rank this? You know, I'll let you guys that are like pro Warriors figure it out. You're already stance dancing on procs anyways. Yeah, so like it kind of just plays into your playstyle. Feels like because you got nerfed so much with them removing your runes, they're giving something back here, depending on what spec you're running, right? Like you might honestly be running two-handed Fury. Two set is insane for two-handed set. Not that great for dual wield. Okay, so let's Warrior DPS. Let's give it A for two-hand, B- for dual wield. And someone can come at me and fight me or post it in Fight Club, and then they can all be like, they don't believe his lies. Because I don't fucking know. I'm agreeing. Screenshot it. All right, god damn it, dude. I'm telling you, I don't fucking know. I'm just going off of what Ataz is saying. You guys, okay, hear me out, guys. If you are one of these people above Ataz in the world, maybe if you're above his second character, you tell me. Also, I'm asking you to tell me anyways. I don't know. It sounds theoretically good, but I haven't really dove into the new Warrior stuff. It feels like they nerfed Warrior heavily, but we don't have world buffs, which is like a huge caveat, right? Every other class looks like they're shitting on Warrior. Okay, Tank Warrior. Increase your block value by 30. What are we, a fucking Holy Paladin? That feels like nothing, but you gain 1 extra rage every time you take damage or deal an auto attack. So they're trying to make Warriors more AoE. Shield Slam scales off block now? Oh. Increases all threat you generate in defensive stance by 10%. Phil, thoughts? I feel like the Rogue tanking set is like the most awesome Rogue like tank set ever. It makes you have so many different skill expressions. Like I can now literally mitigate any magic damage, or I can mitigate any physical attack. The Warrior one is like you do 10% more threat, 30 more dodge, 30 more block. For DPS, Warrior, me and Ataz were doing around 1300 DPS, no world buffs. Yeah, and the no world buffs is just a huge caveat, right? Like Feral Druid was doing like around 2k, Fire Mage around 2k, Feral Druid on AoE 4,000, Ele Shaman on AoE 4,000 to probably 6,000 if you had a good group. Yeah, they gave Rogues Cloak of Shadows instead of being able to vanish, basically. World buffs hard carry Warriors. I don't love this. I think the Rage Gen is pretty sick, especially since you're using like a shield. The Rage Gen one is my personal favorite. I don't know. Phil's actively just waiting for me to say something dumb and gonna clip it. Why doesn't he just say what it is? So I'll put it as Warrior Tank B, A, B, B+, uncreative. Let's look at Warlock Tank. Banish is now an instant cast and can be cast on yourself while you're a demon. But what does it do? D tier, buff it. Okay, sure. Here, we'll give you C+. Heavy. This sounds sick, but does it drop immunity to damage, but you can't do anything? Like it's just a DI? You drop threat. No, it would have to be a threat drop. There's no way you can just immune damage and sit there. It's a Petri. It's a Petri. Or a DI. I mean, I don't think it drops Threat, I think it drops aggro. Does that make sense? DI and Petri drop all of your threat fully. I don't think Banish, I don't know. Does Banish drop threat? I literally don't know. You get Forbearance, which is hilarious, but Banish, right? Like when you come out of it, it's more like a lip, yeah, like an extended lip, but with all damage. Like an ice block. Yeah, exactly, like an ice block. Thank you, Uki. Yeah, I think threat return, like threat doesn't go away when you're bubbled or ice blocked. It just stays there and doesn't move, but you drop aggro, which is, I feel like I said this a lot today, but I remember there was like a whole Crix sent it to me once. There's this whole like Reddit thread about like how there was like Sarthe doesn't understand the difference between threat and aggro, and I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, you would taunt Banish. You would taunt instant cast Banish yourself because it would last for the duration of the taunt. Is there an AoE taunt for Warlocks? You would AoE taunt Banish. Okay, it could. We have to see how it pans out. AoE taunt Banish. Let's go. Whatever's the longest duration taunt you have. Okay, 4 set. Each time you take damage, you and your pet gain mana equal to the damage taken, so you just don't have to tap. And the last one, your Shadow Cleave hits have a 20% chance to grant you a Soul Shard. Reset the cooldown on Soulfire and make your next Soulfire instant. Yeah, you would cancel Aura it. You would cancel Aura it. That seems really fucking sick. Like it seems like you're gonna have a lot of damage now as a lock tank, and it also takes away from your only ability is Scorch, but maybe you would only ever Scorch still, or whatever. Searing Pain, come at me, fucking someone. Yeah, you would be able to click off a Banish. It's a buff, not a debuff, right? Wait, you're right. Who knows? We'll have to see how. Yeah, I'm assuming you'd be able to, but it is a debuff, right? So like usually, actually, if you banish something, unlike in later versions of the game, you could just rebanish it to get it out of that banish. But we all know the bane of being like, hey, can you CC that? We need to finish this. It's only at 6% HP. And then some fucking Warlock max rank banishes it. And you just sit there like, thanks, bro. Soul Flame, Cursed Blade of the Netherlord. 10% chance in second combat to blast your enemy with the shadowy flames. 300 damage, and then jumping to the nearby enemy. Each jump reduces their magic resistance. Whoever created that is the biggest coper ever. So earlier we did a bunch of tests. I have 2 logs here. Here are 2 logs for you, Great Unknown. But again, there's no world buffs. We did a bunch of tests. We're seeing, for us on our tests that I ran with people from chat, we were able to see mages hitting around 2000 DPS, feral druids around 2000 DPS, warlocks with good RNG, really good DPS. No one has world buffs, and rogues doing really solid DPS, as well as shadow priests looking solid. But again, no one has world buffs, which is a huge caveat. If you look at any of those logs, just please be aware, world buffs are huge. Also, if you look at any random group, that joins, any random group that you join to test out what the damage is like, if it's not a guild group, be aware that even without world buffs, your group probably doesn't have debuffs, which is like 80% of your damage. So just know, if you join a random pug to test on test work, unless they're really talking about, everyone's like, you do this debuff, you do this debuff, most people will do, like, you're gonna see the top people in your group probably doing like 1000 DPS instead of the 2000 they should, at least, without the world buffs, right? We don't have world buffs again, which is gonna be a huge thing. Mages might even scale even more with world buffs. Our crits do 3.5 times more than the base ability, and you're gonna get crit, and you're gonna get MP5. And we don't know if they're gonna change how Warchief's Blessing works, but we can all hope that Alliance gets it. But that's going over all of the tier sets. All right, you guys can, whoever wants to get mad about it or get glad about it, that's going over all of the tier sets. We're ranking them, not in a tier list maker, because you can't do all of that way. But Balanced Druid is the most doo-doo, and Ele Shaman and Tank Rogue are the coolest. Mutilate Crimson. Yeah, no, it's so, you have infinite mana or energy. Yeah. Final grade for Lock Tank. Oh, what was the last one again? Oh yeah, S tier. Hell yeah. B tier, you don't have to life tap anymore. You get so much mana back. 400 mana every single hit. 420 mana per hit. Oh, can only occur every few seconds. I'm not going back. Get owned.